Now, if you're tuned in at home, you won't know that upon our stage has just arrived Aparna Nancherla.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
Oh,
Happy imminent Halloween.
thank you.
You flew in from Brooklyn this morning?
I flew in from D.C. I was in D.C. last.
You were in DC. Were you
But I live
performing
in
there?
New York,
You
so
live
you
in
were
New York.
right.
Well, but just kind of. Right?
No, you can have this one.
Really?
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Do you have, so I'm curious, did you have, like growing up, was there a Halloween costume that you favored? Or was there, or just a Halloween memory?
Actually, I would say my most distinctive Halloween memory is my parents are both Indian immigrants, and they got married on Halloween. Not on purpose. There is no Halloween in India, but so they came here with very different expectations of how that day was going to go. And so, they always had like a very tortured relationship with the holiday, but they were good sports about it. They bought the candy, they handed it out, except we lived on this really big hill in our neighborhood, so our house was like the house kids didn't go to for the most part, unless they really had that extra oomph at the end of their route. So one year they were so tired of just like having candy left over that they decided to drive around our neighborhood in their minivan and try to hand out candy to children.
Which
went so good. It honestly.
Aparna Nancherla, everyone.
Thank
She'll
you.
take good care of you.
Thank you so much. Hello, I'm so happy to be here in St. Paul. It's a funny coincidence. Paul is actually my favorite of the saints named Paul, so it really worked out well in that sense. I actually feel like we should get right into things. We don't have a lot of time left here on Earth. Things are ending. Things are wrapping up, so it's good to get to the point. This is something I learned not too long ago the hard way. There is no way to pick up pills that you've spilled on the ground without looking like a total human red flag. There's just no way to be like, oh, this is what I meant to do, and everything is going great. There's always a sense of urgency to it. You're just like, I'm so sorry. I need these. Oh, Mama's medicine. Like it quickly spirals into a dark one-woman show that no one agreed to attend. Very quickly goes south. I am on a healthy diet of pills. They are prescribed for the most part. One of the things I take them for is depression. It's always good to mention depression during your set because people are like, I guess you can have it all, It's very grounding. It's very relatable. I've had depression for most of my life, learned to manage it fairly well, but a lot of times I'll feel sad for no reason. But then I'll remember the reasons, This actually makes a lot of sense. This adds up. The clues are there. I live in New York right now, as I said. That's why I smell different, hint of garbage. It is the fashion capital of the country, self-proclaimed. So one thing I wasn't prepared for when I moved there is that there are just models walking around all the time, just unregulated. They're just like feral models wandering the streets that no one warns you about. Some of them are free range, I guess, but models to me feel like self-esteem pickpockets. Like they're fine at a distance, you can appreciate them from afar like a sunset, but if you ever directly walk by one, within seconds you're just like, no, I have nothing. Even my personality's the wrong shape. Like you immediately question everything. It's just rock bottom. You got to grab an O magazine, rebuild from scratch. Back to fundamentals. I would say the season I hate the most clothes-wise, though, is beach season. Ugh, hate it. Ladies, can I get a silence? Thank you. Thank you for jumping on board. I feel like as a female, you have to make that critical decision between the one-piece or the two-piece. I usually go with the three-piece, which is just a men's business suit that I rock down to the water because it covers up my main problem area, which is being a woman. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's trapped in a societal prison of impossible beauty standards. You know. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. That's the TED Talk portion of my set. So I like to have a take-home message. I ate out for dinner recently, and I ordered dessert, because I'm worth it. But I noticed this. There was fresh fruit as an option on the dessert menu. Whenever there's fruit as an option on the dessert menu, it feels like a multiple choice question where it's the one option you can throw out right away. You're like, well, I know it's not that one. I studied. I've been studying for this test my whole life. Like if the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire question was just something like, which of these infamous dictators launched a world war? A, Kim Jong-il. B, Adolf Hitler. C, Pol Pot. D, fruit. It's not fruit. It's never going to be the fruit. Keep wishing, fruit. Hang in there. Just a fruit joke. Hang in there. Yep. Yeah. Soak it up. I like to write for everyone. Somewhere a baby just smiled and didn't know why. The joke is powerful. Powerful impact radius. Yeah, I have a lot of opinions about food, though. For example, don't you think any pizza can be a personal one if you cry while you eat it? Yeah, sorry to go political, but that is how I feel. Yeah, I live in New York. It can be stressful. I feel like people talk about New York moments. I think there should be a separate category called New York breaking points. I had mine fairly early on. Like a year in, I was walking the city. I just saw a loose muffin that had fallen on the sidewalk, and I just kicked it really hard. I was like, I didn't know that about myself. I didn't know I was a muffin kicker. It's like a new truth I have to wrap into my identity. It's like the top shot off in one direction, the body kept rolling. I was like, sick! Children, look away! It's like if you see something, say something. What if it's you? I will say my favorite thing I've ever seen walking around New York is very simple and poetic. It was just a trash can thrown out in a garbage bag. Trash can thrown out in a garbage bag. And I was just like, oh, the student has become the master. Thank you guys so much. You've been great.